Hello, this is Jess, and we're going to do the chat session thing. Nice to see you tonight. I don't really see anybody, but if you're there and you happen to be seeing this, just know that I see you. Put it that way. Alright, here's looking at you. This is chat session number 38, December 8th, 2017, Friday night, about 11 o'clock. And we're going to go ahead and get right into the tidbits of history. 1980. John Lennon, a former member of the Beatles, the rock group that transformed popular music in the 1960s, is shot and killed by an obsessed fan in New York City. The 40-year-old artist was entering his luxury Manhattan apartment building when Mark Davis Chapman shot him 4 times at close range with a .38 caliber revolver. Lennon, bleeding profusely, was rushed to the hospital, but he died en route. Chapman had received an autograph from John Lennon earlier in the day and voluntarily remained at the scene of the shooting until he was arrested by police. For a week, hundreds of bereaved fans kept a vigil outside the Dakota Lennon apartment building, and demonstrations of mourning were held around the world. When he was taken into custody, by the way, it was peaceful, police found Chapman reading a copy of The Catcher in the Rye. That's interesting. Every time there's certain things, certain conspiracies, and some reason that book, Catcher in the Rye, comes up in weird times. I've never read it, but maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with that book. I don't know, but yeah, that's what he was reading that when they took him into custody. Chapman was up for parole in 2000, but he never got the hearing. He was denied even the hearing to get the parole. So he's still in prison, I guess, or he's passed away. I don't know. But that's where we are with that. All right, now we're gonna go on to 1940. The Chicago Bears trounced the Washington Redskins in the National Football League Championship by a score of 73-0, the largest margin of defeat in NFL history. At one point in the second half of the game, the refs were asking Coach Hollis of the Bears not to kick any more extra points, as too many footballs had been kicked into the stands and they were running out of them. That's pretty crazy. Of course, now I think they have nets, so it saves the loss of the footballs when they kick the field goals. But I guess in 1940 they didn't have them. But it was a big like almost a revenge game. The Redskin coach was making fun of the Bears during the season. Some stuff had happened, and the Coach Hollis became determined to get to the championship, and they won their last games they had of the season or whatever, and got there, and I guess he just drove up the score as payback for this other coach from the Redskins calling them names and making comments about the team, negative comments and stuff. So that's interesting. But anyway, okay, that's sports history and music history. On this day, we have 1940, and we also have 1980. All right. Well, it's Christmassy. We had some flurries here where I live at yesterday, and it's been cool today, but nice during the day. When the sun was out, it was clear. The sun was nice. Went food shopping today, earlier. My leg's getting better. It still looks ugly with all the stitches and stuff in it, but I'm feeling okay. I have a follow-up appointment this coming up Wednesday to get some final results and hopefully be told that everything was found and removed or whatever successfully, and I'm in the clear. But we'll wait till we get there to get those results. But I feel fine, and what do you do? All right, so I guess it's almost like a boring over and over again with politics, so we're going to do a little something different. I'm going to talk about some stuff that I watch on Netflix. I've seen the complete series of Star Trek The Next Generations, and I've seen the complete series of Star Trek Enterprise, and I'm working my way through Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and the original Star Trek. I'm in Season 3 in each of those respectively at this time, so I'm a little bit of a Trekkie. I think that stuff's interesting. I was born in a time of the beginnings of the space exploration. We had the Russians, I guess, had Sputnik in 1959, and I was born, I guess I'd say 5 years later. And then we did our little moon stuff in the 60s, 70s era, and our space exploration by NASA. And then now we're at a whole new level of space exploration. We sent out Voyager 1 in 1973, and they say that it's reached our outer edges of our galaxy. New stuff, new discoveries, and it's unbelievable that it would still be sending back photos. But it's still in operation and still sending back photos from way the heck out there. And then we have Voyager 2, it's also out there somewhere. And if I'm not mistaken, it's still working. We've sent probes to Saturn and Venus, and of course to Mars. We have vehicles up there running around, rolling around, taking photos and samples and sending back data about the planet. It's interesting stuff, and yet, you don't ever get control of anything because we still have these on our planet. We were having these devastating storms worldwide, not just hurricanes here in the United States, but devastating storms all over the world. Very powerful winds, waves, water, the whole 9 yards. Devastation on communities around the world, different areas, and it seems to continue, yet we as humans continue to survive as well, and upgrade our defenses against that. But they are getting more powerful. It's, hopefully there'll be some kind of balance between Mother Nature and the destruction of mankind, but so far so good. We're still here. But space exploration is the next. We're discovering our oceans. On our planet, we're learning things like never before about earthquakes, about hurricanes, about tornadoes. It's an ever-evolving study, and a lot of it is now done from space. We have a International Space Station that continually is manned continually, and I think every 3 months a ship takes off to take them supplies. It's crazy stuff. I do have the NASA channel. I watch it on there, and I watch them at they're floating around talking to audiences around the world, and from the space station into schools and different things. And the talk is that in 2018, 2019, there will be non-astronauts going up and staying on the space station. It's exciting times. If you're into space, it's a good thing to get into if you can, as far as the exploration side of it, the engineering side of it, the construction side of it. You know, just things going on. Talking about possibly landing ships on ores, on meteorites, on comets, different things that fly by. We're going to try to land craft on there and ore that material. It's crazy. You know, crazy idea I have. I don't guess I'll ever act on it, but maybe somebody out there will. Is a space trash company that goes up and retrieves all the dead satellites that are floating around. We've got junk floating around the Earth like crazy. Just so much crap up there. And I have written on them for years about it, about going up there and retrieving them, putting them in a container, and bringing them back to Earth for recycling. You know, they won't burn up through the atmosphere if you're in the right kind of spaceship, that kind of stuff. But I've had this idea for 5, 6, 7 years, maybe. I don't know, maybe longer. But it's, you know, trash is everywhere, including space. And probably a lot of money up there floating around, all the materials that they use for construction of those things. You know, who knows what kind of minerals and materials are inside the components that make up those satellites that are dead floating around the Earth. I think it would be pretty cool to form a company like that and to go up there and to retrieve all the space junk and bring it back and see if there's any money in it. I bet there is. Alright, well, we're going to end it right here. My mood's a little chipper tonight. I feel pretty good. Like I said, I got out and walked around, went shopping today, and I really didn't have any issues. Now I hobble, but I feel good about the progress of my healing, and hope to be able to go back to work sometime next week. I'm not a person to sit around. I've been trying to work this thing up. I live upstairs, so I go up and downstairs, and it's gotten easier. It was hurting at first, no doubt, but it's easier now. So things are halfway decent here with me. I wish the same for you. And I do have a YouTube channel. You can just punch in my name, Jess Malone, and if you go there and subscribe, that would be, I guess, an awesome thing, because it would show me that somebody's seeing this. I've been tallying my views of my videos. This is, like I said, number 38. I've been tallying my views, and I'm over 800. That's awesome. Appreciate anybody who's seeing these. Good or bad or indifferent, you know, it's just something I'm having a good time doing. But okay, we're going to end it here now. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Seattle's going to win this weekend. Alright then.